What up, folk? Boston Black, PopSauceSauces.com. Today we're doing a special rendition of ready-made betters, questionable cuisine. And what we're going to be making is baked salmon, cannabis-infused baked salmon with purple rice and greens. We're going to feature Pop Hot Sauces, Serrano and Pineapple Mango Hot Sauce, Cannabis-infused Serrano Pineapple and Mango Hot Sauce. We're going to get right at it. To start this process off, we're going to be taking our purple rice and we're going to ferment it for 6 hours in the brine that we made the original Serrano Pineapple and Mango Hot Sauce from. So we're going to take everything else, put it away, we're going to get our brine, and we're going to start that process right now. Okay, so to start this process off, we're going to take a cup, 1 cup of our purple rice. We'll measure it exactly. As with any rice, we want to rinse this to remove some of the starch. Okay. Now that we're here, we want to take this and we want to basically cover the rice in brine. But before we cover the rice in brine, we want to check the pH of it just to make sure that it's still stable. When we did the hot sauce, this brine registered between 3.3 and 3.5. We're going to see what it looks like today. Okay. We're at 3.6. So that in itself indicates that our brine is shelf stable. The aroma smells absolutely fine, so it qualifies for our check as being a safe brine to use. So we want to take this and we want to simply cover the purple rice with. And we're going to try not to waste any. Okay, from here, we're going to take a plastic wrap and simply cover our mixing jar, our measuring cup. Then we'll take this and put it in the refrigerator for 6 hours. And there, see you in 6 hours. Okay, it's been 6 hours. So before we get started on our rice, we want to go ahead and we want to start our oven to preheating to 350 degrees. Then I want to go ahead and start my water or get my pan ready to put my rice on. because even though it has soaked for 6 hours, this purple rice is going to need about 40 minutes before it actually is done of cooking time. We want to go ahead and pour off the brine that's in the rice. Just bring it down as best we can. Now that the brine is off, we want to add, for every cup of rice, 2.5 cups of water. Now we want to take that and start heating it up. At this particular time, I don't want to salt my rice because the brine is already going to contain seasoning. We don't want to accidentally over salt it or over season it by adding anything to the rice without tasting it first. So we want to wait till it gets done, and if I need to add salt, I'll add it after the cooking process. Now, I will go ahead and infuse this with a tablespoon of infused cannabis butter. So I'll bring it to a boil, and once I get it to a boil, I'll stir it once, and then I'll let it cook. Simmer it down to cook for 45 minutes. Now that our oven's preheated, we want to go ahead and we want to prepare our salmon. Whenever I buy salmon, I buy it pretty much 2-3 pounds at a time. I separate it, I give it a little bit of salt and only salt, and then I pack it. What I'm gonna wanna do now, since we're baking this, is go ahead and take my aluminum foil, put the salmon on my then I want to salt it. Add pepper. After this, we're going to add Pop's pineapple and mango seasoning, spicy rub. And we will go generous with this. Our rice has come to a boil, so I want to reduce the heat. Give it a stir. Looking beautiful. Close it up. Now, What I want to do here is I want to add my Pops Cannabis-infused Serrano pineapple and mango hot sauce. On top of that, I want to add about a teaspoonful of my cannabis butter. I only want to do about a teaspoon for the simple fact that I'm already going to have cannabis butter on my rice. Now, seal it up, put it into the oven. Being careful to place it in the center of the rack, and we'll let that cook 20 minutes. Okay, now we'll go ahead and we'll start prepping our greens. So we want to rinse these off. Go ahead and chop parsley. Rough chop. It won't be too fine because we're going to turn around and then I want to chop my scallion. Again, a rough chop. Then I want to take my spinach and give it a rough chop. Okay, now that we've gotten our greens chopped, we want to go ahead and we want to put our frying pan on. I want to add a tablespoonful of, I'm using canola oil. You can use olive oil, whatever. I'm using canola oil. And it's not cannabis infused since everything else is already infused. Then I want to add a little bit of salt. And pepper. The greens look like they're just about ready. My fish is ready. Only thing we're waiting on is the rice. Oh my gosh. Rice looks like it's just about ready. to give it a little taste. Nice texture. Flavor's there. You can use a little bit of salt. So we're gonna add a little bit of salt and a little pepper. Whenever you're adding brine, technically the brine is a 3% brine, so there's 3% of salt versus water, and it's Mediterranean sea salt. So you just never know how that's going to affect it, but generally it changes over the months that you're creating your sauces. So it's nowhere near as salty as it sounds. But whenever you're cooking rice from that or some type of pasta, you should always taste your end product before adding additional rice to it. I mean, additional salt or additional seasoning to it. Just to ensure that you don't over season. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna plate our meal. Running with the rice. Then I bring in the greens. Looking lovely. And from here, we'll bring in the main ingredient, the fish. It's looking beautiful. Voila. Cannabis-infused baked salmon, purple rice, and greens. Now for the ultimate test. Rice is perfect. Greens are perfect. Fish, delicate, full of flavor. Just the right amount of spice. Kick from the hot sauce. Flavor is outstanding. We're going in again. Wow. Wow. Fish is juicy, ridiculously tender. And I can't even just comment on how flavorful it is. Everything is perfect. One more time. And then I'm gonna end this. Oh my gosh. Perfect kick. Okay, I'm gonna enjoy. Peace.